Welcome back, podcast community. This is episode 51 of Three Questions Podcast. My name's Cam, and today I have my great friend, former mentor as well, Pablo Gonzalez. Pablo, how are you doing?
Hello, great to be here. Thanks for the introduction, Kat.
Yeah, no worries. You're calling in from Lisbon, Portugal. Obviously, I think there's a 5 or 6 hour time difference, but you've been in Lisbon for a number of years now, right? Where are you from originally, if you want to tell
Mhm.
everybody, and what brought you to Lisbon?
Yeah. Originally, I'm from Spain. I've lived there until I was like 21 or something like that. Then I moved to Switzerland, looking for opportunities to work, make money, have my own life. And because in Spain it was not so easy. And there I lived like for 3 years and discovered that working so much was not so fun, was a hard life, and I found better ways to enjoy what I was doing. And I moved to Portugal. I was doing coaching at the time, personal development for for men. And when I was doing that coaching and mentoring, I met Cam. He was a great person in that journey. We've learned a lot together. And yeah, after living in Switzerland, I moved to Portugal because I wanted to really focus on that. That was my passion at the time, helping others, building that business I was building. And when I came here, I discovered a new way of understanding the world, let's say, based more on Oriental culture. I started learning more from Orientals, and I started building or changing, improving my lifestyle more according to those kind of beliefs. And yeah, ever since then, I've also stopped coaching, and now I have a happy life in here with new friends, with a new girlfriend, and great life. And now I'm here with you, Cam. Thanks for bringing me and touching base with you again.
Yeah, no, it's great. I've been getting a lot more guests on the podcast, and a lot of people are sharing some really cool stories. I did a lot of episodes by myself, and then it was always my purpose to get content out there, develop some sort of cadence, and then just start getting people on. Not to be the next Joe Rogan, but I really do love hearing people's stories, people's takes, whether it's on marketing, business, life, travel, adventure, spirituality. I know we have a couple questions about that today. And I honestly, where the juncture that I met you before we worked together for about 6 months was a very, very interesting one in my own life. And I tell my clients now that I had the right mentors show up at the right time for me. And I was going through it. We don't have to talk about that on the podcast, but I was got laid off, after the pandemic, and I was fresh out of a long-term relationship, and my world was just crumbling and on fire and in flames, and I did not know what to do. And I couldn't get out of my own way. And when you were doing personal development and coaching, you were just such a good mirror for me to be like, wow, okay, I need to slow down. We need to take out all of these things and then see what we have at the core and then start building it back up. And the whole dopamine detox, the whole withdrawal program that you had me go through, um, dude, it was life changing. So I really, really, once again, appreciate the hell out of you. And I hope we stay in touch for a long time. So
Yeah.
sorry to hear that you stopped coaching, but I know you changed a lot of people's lives for sure.
I've stopped coaching, but I haven't stopped helping people. So don't worry. Now I
Good.
help people more like close people, and it's for free. Like
Mhm.
I enjoy it. I don't need the money, so it's just fine.
Good. I like that. Yeah, you seem very, very level-headed. And when I was working with you, it was exactly that kind of cool-headed, centered person, right? Not chasing, not forcing, not needing to know why. I needed that because I was very much not that person. And I still feel like I am not so much that person. I still tend to overdo myself, but now I have the framework for always bringing it back, which is something that you passed on to me, and I'm hoping to, share that with my future clients as well. But are you ready to jump into some of the questions?
Let's go.
Okay. So everyone listening, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever, Three Questions Podcast, Each question's 5 minutes long. Pablo, you don't have to fill up all 5 minutes if you don't want to, but feel free to make it conversational. But I'll give you the stage and I'll let you know with a sign when you're at 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. Question number one. Question number one. I love this. This is a good one. Many people struggle with relationships in today's world. Why is that?
That's a good question. Relationships, for some people, it's not that important, and for some other people, it's everything. But people can only see, usually, relationships with others, relationships with girlfriend, mom, dad, boss, friend, the bus driver, relationship with others. But they tend to forget the relationship with themselves. Or the other way around, they focus too much on the relationship with themselves and they just don't care about the others out there. So in the end, there is like a separation between others and you. Then, of course, you cannot have a good relationship with others if you focus too much on you or you focus too much on the others. In the end, where do we come from? We come from our moms, right? Sure. But why or what was the process for our moms to create us the way we are? Like they had their life, they were having their jobs, and they were eating their food. Their lifestyle, the food they were eating, that's what created us, right? They converted that food into blood, and that blood created the baby that now it's us. So if our moms were eating, I don't know, crazy food, drugs, too much medicine, or if they were vegetarian and they were super healthy and never smoked, that will have impact in the creation of the baby, right? So then that will make a different us. That means that our first mom is our mom, but our second mom is the food she was eating, right? If she was eating one food, we will be one person. If she was eating a different food, we were a different person. And in the end, and in life, in the world, what happens, imagine if all animals disappear? We're fine. Like imagine a tiger dies. Do we die? No, it's fine. But what if all plants disappear? There's no chance. We all die, right? Why? Because animals can survive without other animals, but plants create us. Without plants, nobody lives. The plants are our real moms, right? They are our food. Even if we eat meat, if we eat fish, ultimately we come from plants. So, Cam, you're there, United States, such a good English accent or American accent. Here, in Spain, in Portugal, with this funny, let's say, accent. But we both have the same mom. We both come from the same place, right? If plants disappear, you're not going to be there. I'm not going to be here. The blood that runs through our veins comes from the same place. And those plants, where do they come from? What would we need to remove from existence for plants to disappear? If we remove some species of plants, some others keep going, right? But what if we remove the earth? What if we remove oxygen? What if we remove water? Plants disappear, right? It's their food, their nourishment, their, let's say, mom. So plants' moms are the elements, are earth, oxygen, water. So in the end, that's our grandma, right? It's our second mom or third mom already. So we come from there. And if we keep this logic, we can regress to the origins of our nature, right? We all come from the same place. Call it the universe, call it God, call it whatever you want to call it. We all have a common past, a common mom. We're brothers. So if we have bad relationships, if we cannot relate to others, why is it? It's because we forgot, right? We forgot where we come from. We forgot we're brothers. Like I have a brother, I'm connected with him, even if he doesn't talk to me. My mom called me today. Actually, she sent me a message saying, "Oh, so sad. Son and mom don't talk." And I called him immediately saying, how dare you? How dare you say that? We're mom and son. How can we be disconnected? Just because we don't talk? Just because we don't have a call? You made me. My whole life came through you. We are disconnected. How can you say that? You just forgot where we come from. So if we have this in mind, relationships, we're just the same. We're brothers, sisters, we're the same, and we cannot just be disconnected. Then we start valuing others, paying attention, and then we start seeing, oh, even the bus driver is a cool guy. Even this guy that hates me so much is a cool guy. Even my girlfriend that is so annoying, I love her. She's me. And if I treat her well, she will treat me well in return. And if she treats me bad, it's because I did something wrong. I have to learn. I have to figure out what it was, right? Then you can adapt to everything. There is nothing to fear, nothing to argue about, nothing to hate. You can just adapt, learn from mistakes, from life, and improve. What do you think?
I completely agree. I didn't know where you were gonna go for a second. I was like, okay, planets and Earth. And I think this is a difference. You told me earlier that you're studying a lot of Eastern philosophy.
Mhm.
I can hear it. It makes sense. I think in Western society, especially America today, we're so inundated with noise and social media and
Yeah,
notifications and making money that it makes us so easily disconnected from what
yeah,
you're referring to. I think hundreds of years ago, even if you look at studies in Africa or more simple cultures, when people, excuse me, when people have less, they're actually happier.
yeah.
Not from like a world economic forum and new world order type thing, but generally when people have less, they're more grateful and they're happier. Americans have everything that we want and we need, at the drop of a hat. And look how, anxiety and depression, all these things are just rampant in our country today. So
You know
it's
why
very
is that?
interesting. Why
So,
is,
sorry to interrupt you.
no, you
That's
go.
why, because when with the Occidental or American, European kind of view in life, like God is money, money is God, money is time, time is money, whatever. And
Mhm.
then you look for that and you achieve that. So then you are the one that achieves something. You're you. Others are others. And people take from you, and it's a viewpoint that is more possessive. Like you have to go out there and challenge and conquer and achieve. But if plants die, there's nothing you can achieve. You die. If oxygen disappears, you and both plants die. And then, if you remove all the unnecessary things, you remove the money, you remove the dopamine, you remove all the distractions, you realize that, hey, just to live, you just need oxygen, water, plants, and that's it. Like, not much more. And that is free. The universe gives it to you. Life gives it to you. Other people gives it to you. Even if you get lose all your money, you don't have food. Like you make a friend, they invite you for dinner, whatever. So in the end, you start seeing that, hey, why stressing so much? Like
Totally.
everything you need, you have it. It's free. Now you can have fun. You can conquer the world if you want. But don't forget that whatever you do, this doesn't matter. What matters is the water, is the plants, is the air, and the people around you that make a life worth living, right?
I completely agree. And even when I was doing that dopamine detox with you, I think for, close to 60 days, when I didn't have social media or alcohol or sugar or dating apps, right? No porn, no jerking off, no sex, no nothing, right? I realized by giving up all of those things that were vices and addictions that I actually had a lot in my life that made me feel good. And
Yeah.
I think this whole thing of American culture or Western culture just needing to add more and have more and be more and do more things and have a bigger thing and have the biggest house and the most land and the most money. It's a path to nowhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know that society or civilization was ever intended to develop that way. But, time will
Hey,
tell for sure.
it is. Everything happens for a reason.
Mhm, mhm. And
Uh,
you were hitting on a number of good points relating to question number two. So I don't want you to spill everything, but I'll hit you up here with question number two, and that is talking about spirituality. I know in Spanish culture, spirituality is super big. Obviously, you're studying a lot of Eastern philosophy and that kind of medicine. What does spirituality mean to you, and how can one include that more into their life from a daily perspective?
That's a good question. Spirituality, like, a lot of people talk about it, if not all of everybody, but people don't understand it. Even myself, I don't understand it. Nobody does, because we are all the time learning more about it and experience it our own way. In my story, I can say I'll try to be short because I tend to talk too much. Back then, when I was in Spain, I was Christian, Protestant, and then I quit that. It was too hard for me. It was too strict. Everything was rules. Everything is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, and always feeling guilty about doing the wrong things. And then I quit, and I became the most scientist of them all. I went to work at CERN, the biggest particle physics laboratory in the world. And I was like a scientist, man. God, I don't know if it exists, but I don't care. And then I came here to Portugal and I started learning how Orientals used to look at the world, Eastern philosophy. And I started to see that they look very mystical. Oh, everything is the universe, a marvelous thing that we don't understand. But actually, when you understand the simple laws of nature, the simple rules that work in the world. Like if you're small, you're gonna grow. If you're old, you're gonna die. If a tree has too much water, it's gonna rot. If it's too little water, it's gonna dry. Those Orientals, Eastern people, use yin and yang to explain that very easily. When you understand more of that, you understand that, hey, spirituality is everywhere. It's in Eastern cultures, Western cultures, and even in people that don't believe in God, they have some sort of spirituality in them. Why? Because of the same reason we said earlier. We come from plants, plants come from the earth, and so on. We all are brothers. We are all the same. We all wake up when we sleep, and we all go back to sleep when we are tired, right? When we are hungry, we eat. When we drink too much, we pee. We have the same rules in our body. We act the same way, even if apparently it looks like we are different. And understanding those common things is what leads us to spirituality, to understanding how the world works. Is there something else apart from what we see? Like, oh, you're black and I'm white, you're tall and I'm short. Understanding that there is something else behind all that, that's spirituality. And to one interesting thing Orientals used to say, especially Indians, but also Japanese, Chinese, is that their first law of true medicine, true Oriental medicine, the first law is everybody is God, you are God, and you heal yourself. And that's like, whoa, whoa, so woo woo. That's like, what are you talking about? But it's just in Western side of saying it is homeostasis. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce it in English, but anyway, it's the simple. Let's say when you get sick, you have fever, your body gets really, really hot. When you have a cold or whatever, your body temperature can go down, right? It changes a lot. It's always changing. But if you measure the temperature of your blood, it's always the same temperature because the body always keeps the balance, always counters. If you drink too much, your body gets cold, but your heart starts pumping faster and heats up the inside. If you eat too hot, then you start and you refresh your body, right? So there is always a part that is changing in our life, like our temperature, but inside there is the constant. The blood is constant in there. So that means that if we get sick, it's because we did something that changed that balance on the outside, but inside the body is keeping the balance, is countering that balance. That you put poison in your body will work to clean your body. So then you are God. You are healing yourself. You are, as long as you don't mess it up more, like Japanese guys when they go into the house, they leave the shoes outside to not dirty, right? Then inside everything is clean. So for Eastern people, it's just like that. You are God. Inside you, you're perfect. You keep the balance. Then just don't mess it up. Don't dirty more. Don't complicate your life. Life is easy. Don't make it difficult. And that's the foundation of spirituality for Eastern people. And we can apply that also in Western countries. And then it simplifies life so much because you understand that, hey, life is not so difficult. We just think that, oh, we have to work so hard to make so much money, to buy things we don't need. And then, no, just stop, relax, let your body, let the God inside you, let homeostasis, let that clean itself, heal itself, fix the issues, give yourself time, fix what's wrong in there. That's it. Does that
I
make any sense or not? I talk too much. You can interrupt me more and ask questions.
no. I wanted you to finish. I was just thinking about Ayurvedic medicine,
Yeah.
which I've been looking into a lot. So a
Hmm?
lot of that is fascinating because they do teach the difference between Eastern and Western medicine. That first thing is that, hey, you're a god and you can heal yourself, and everything you need to heal yourself is on the planet. And a lot of those things have been suppressed, unfortunately, here in America and Western medicine. And Western medicine is more reactive medicine, right? We're reacting to whatever your body's doing and then just trying to shut off the notifications for your body with pharmaceuticals and medicines. And I
Hmm?
don't want to get into conspiracy theories or big pharma and government. I'm not there's too much to talk about there, but when you actually bring it back to the individual and say, hey, you're fully capable of doing this, right? Yourself. There's aspects, I've read books on quantum healing, which are fascinating because all of this stuff, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it all the time. It's all available in, the ether or the universe, or like you said, in plants, right? Plant medicine, Eastern medicine. I'm a big no pharmaceuticals guy myself. I don't like to be on anything. I don't like that stuff, but again, I'll stay away from that. But I think what you're saying is something that more people in Western society need to hear, because
Hmm?
the more I meet people and the more people get educated about Eastern medicine and really a lot of where that comes from, and then bring it back to our culture, I think the more it will change our medicine. And it's very interesting that you used to work for CERN as a scientist, and then have gone this route. It gives you the whole gamut to be able to do this. So
Yeah,
fascinating stuff, honestly.
yeah. And the thing is that our point of view and Eastern point of view is the opposite. So then it's like we talk about what they say, but we see it the opposite way and we confuse everything. And also, we are more logical. We are better at explaining, pinpointing. They are not. So when they talk, it's so confusing. Like, man, understanding Indians, Ayurvedic medicine, and all that stuff, that's out of it. It's such a mess because they
Yeah.
are so they are connected with the universe. They have that intuition that helps them understand the things. If life would be unfair if they could also share it so clearly as we can, but
Mhm.
then we don't understand shit. Like we're just dumb. But when we understand one little thing, then oh man, we explain that, we pinpoint that, and it's so easy to understand. So
Mhm.
that's why we have to join. We have to understand their point of view, but it's not easy. That's why what I do is simplifying Eastern philosophy, Eastern spirituality, Eastern medicine, Eastern uh, diet, to be able to just take what is actually useful, because they write 1,000 words and the useful, there are two sentences that are useful. The first one is your God, homeostasis, or however you call it. You heal yourself. Like you don't need even like adding plants, adding medicine, or adding food, or adding anything. It's not about adding. It's about just let your body do its thing. The body will fix the problem. Relax. And then the second big law is like remove the cause. What created the problem? Like Japanese people, they go into the house, they leave the shoes outside, right? They don't put the dirt inside, and you don't have to clean it. There was a story of a man that got into a room, and in his house he has a snake in there, and the snake bit him. And he was like, ran to the hospital. I'm poisoned. I'm poisoned. I need help. The doctor gave him the antibiotic or whatever it is for the poison. And he recovered and went back home and went into the room, and the snake bit him again. Went back running to the doctor. Oh, help, help. I need help. And the doctor was like, dude, why do you come back? Like, why not just getting the snake out of the room? I'm like, wait, that's a good idea. I like that. Let me just go get the snake out of the room, and that's it. So your body heals itself, right? That's the first step. Understand that you don't need anything from outside to help you. But next step, stop the cause. That's the difficult part, because what's the cause? People don't understand. It's difficult to know. People think, it's the mind, it's the body, is the my boss is such a prick, or is the society or big pharma, or is it economy? It's so difficult to get a house. Nah, but actually there is something. Everything starts from the inside, right? Your relationships depend on you. If you treat bad people, you will not have friends. If you treat well yourself, you will be able to treat well others and have friends. Everything starts from the inside, right? So then look at what you do. How do you go on about your life? What do you eat? That's the most important thing. Do you put crap inside your body? And you will put crap outside, right? If you drink too much, you will pee too much. Then, if you want to pee less, drink less. If you want to have a healthy life, a healthy mind, eat healthy. If you want to have a stress life, eat stressing food. Sugar, coffee, that's great for that. We'll have a lot of heart attacks, panic attacks, stress. Remove the cause. Take the snake out of the room. Clean your diet. Eat less. Chew more. You chew more, automatically you eat less. You have less snakes in your room. Then you let the body do its thing. Then you recover. Just with those two things, those are the most important pillars of Eastern medicine, the true, real medicine. And it's free. It's so easy.
I think I'm laughing because I remember so many of our discussions about how to simplify a lot of my perceived problems, and that metaphor about the snake is hitting home. I think in America we are taught to consume
Yeah.
the coffee, the sugar, all this stuff, and as simple as you just put it, people don't believe it's that simple, and it really is. Right. When you had me quit coffee, I was like exhausted for a week. But that was when I actually felt my energy levels start to restore. I was like, oh my God, I've been burning myself out, and this is how exhausted I really am. And I was just masking that with coffee. I mean, that was fantastic. I have brought coffee back into my life because I do enjoy coffee, and I am in a very stressful environment and stressful things, but I have to do a lot of things that simplify that, right? Meditation, nature, I have to balance these things out. And so I've been able to find a good level of homeostasis, but I look forward to a more simplified
Mhm.
existence, such as the one that you're
Yeah.
living these days. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, let's hop to question number 3. So we've hit on a lot, but one of the big things that I would like to know, Pablo, right? A lot of people have a lot of common issues and everyday struggles. What are some of the things that you see the most in Eastern, Western society today over the past few years? And how do we really tackle those problems?
Local problems, you have to be very concrete. And I'm going to be blunt. We said it, people don't believe it, but everything is what you eat. You are what you eat. Everything that happens in your life is what you eat. Like, you eat meat. With Oriental culture, we can explain this easily with yin and yang. Meat is very yang. Yang attracts yin. You eat yang, you eat meat, then you will need yin to balance. You will need, for instance, coffee, sugar, drinks, whatever it is. So then people don't understand the impact of food in life. Even myself, I don't have the deeper understanding that I will have in 1 year, in 2 years, in 10 years. If you eat meat, there's no way to avoid it. You will need yin. You will need to counter the excess yang that you're eating. You will go for sugar, for drugs, for water, for whatever it is. If you're thirsty, you imagine now you a tablespoon of salt. You will be thirsty. You will drink yin. You will drink water. No way to avoid it, right? And then you will drink so much water, you will pee a lot, as we said earlier. You cannot control that. God tells you you drink too much, you're gonna pee too much. So then it's about understanding the effect that food has in your life. And then you will be able to have better choices. We said first rule, first law of Eastern medicine, true medicine. You are God. You keep the homeostasis and you keep the balance. Just let yourself recover. Second rule, what was it? Remind me. You remember?
Good in,
Take
good out.
they take the snake out of the room, right?
Yeah.
Like cut the cause. Stop putting the thing that is creating the problem. And for instance, in this case, if you drink too much coffee, coffee is extreme yin, then maybe it's because on your life you're putting things that are too young. You remove the yang, you don't need the yin anymore. And that leads us to the third point, which is having a more centered diet, more balanced diet, which means remove extreme yin and extreme yang from your diet. Like, again, if you drink too much, you will pee too much. It's almost instantaneous. Today or tomorrow, you will pee too much. So if today you start removing the excess yang, the extreme yang, and you start removing the extreme yin, your body will center, and then you will let your inner God do its job way easier, in a more easy way. Then you don't have to you said, like, kill yourself, like punish yourself because, oh, I'm such a bad person. I cannot stop my addiction. I cannot control myself. Of course not, because again, if you eat extreme yang, you cannot. If you eat a tablespoon of salt, you will need to drink. So take the snake out of the room. Improve your diet. But for that, nowadays, it's not easy because everything is like so crazy. We are so disconnected from our roots, and our roots is like we used to be people that lived between the trees, and that's it. There was no cars, there was nothing. We just had the plants that live there in our region. Nowadays, it's totally different. We can have food. We can have fruits. I can go to the supermarket now and eat a mango. I mean, Lisbon, here there are no mangoes. 5,000 years ago, nobody knew what a mango was in here. But now I can go and I eat like a person from the Philippines. That's not natural, right? Then that confuses me, confuses everybody. We don't know what normal food is. How are we gonna have a balanced diet? How are we gonna have a normal diet, right? We have to learn what is the food that our ancestors used to eat. How did they cook that? Go back to the roots. Eat more simple. Take care of your body. Then the first law starts working. Your gut, you heal yourself. Your body will start cleaning faster and faster and faster. You put less crap inside, you clean it faster. Second rule, you don't have the snake in the room, or the snake is smaller, has less venom, then it has a smaller effect, right? And then the third rule. I forgot already. The third rule, you have a more balanced diet. You can keep the homeostasis much more easily. And then they, as a fourth, you can go on if you want, but there's a fourth step that is optional, but it's nice to understand.
I want to keep it simple because the 3-step process that you're talking about is just about keeping it simple.
Yeah.
And this is what people need to realize about business, about life, about relationships, about their health, is that when you simplify these things, you don't have to go and make all these crazy things. I still see people go to the gym for 3 hours one day, once a week or twice a week, but then they'll go out drinking or they'll eat shitty food, right? Or they'll go reward themselves too often,
Yeah.
too soon, right? A lot of my, tactics coaching that I center on is about personal and professional, that the intersection of that. And I try to keep it simple, but I will give my clients a lot of different tools for them to work on or ways to think about things. And we sort of A and B test it. But I haven't ever considered simplifying my own life.
Yeah.
The universe, I'll say, has very much simplified my life over the past couple of years, and it's taken out the right people. And I still, as much as I try to simplify my life and my surroundings, my society or environment or culture of my country is not simple. It's very complex and it's very fast paced. And a lot of us suffer from that. And I wish there was more of a steady reminder to just, go as the wind blows or go as the whatever way the tide's going, because all the information is there and it's
Yeah.
simple and you don't have to do more. Would you
That,
would you say that's
yeah.
accurate?
Yeah, yeah, it is true. That's why when you asked me the question at the beginning, I was very concise. Then I started talking too much, right? But I said in the beginning, that thing to remind yourself is food. Again, if you drink too much, you will pee too much. If you eat salt, you will need to drink. So be mindful of what you put in your plate, what you put in your body. Chew, chew more, like 60 times, 80 times, 100 times. Then you will see if you eat meat, for instance, if you chew more than 20 times, that thing doesn't have any taste. It's not, you don't want it. Your body rejects it. Then you learn, okay, I don't want meat. I thought I wanted, but actually I don't. If I chew, I don't. So if you have a natural diet and you chew it properly, you will improve it over time. And then that reminds you all the time that, hey, if my diet is simple, everything else in my life is going to be simple because my way of thinking and eating is simple. Then I will apply that everywhere else. Everywhere else, you don't have to be constantly reminding yourself like with an alarm every 5 minutes. I have to simplify. No, every day you eat simple. Every day you learn to think more simple. You go about your life. No rush. Life is simple. Your brain starts developing. Everything is simple.
I completely agree. So Pablo, I know we're out of time. This has been a great podcast. What are you doing now? How can people get a hold of you? How can people stay in touch with you?
If people want to talk more about all this, again, I don't do this for a living. I don't sell anything. I don't coach anymore. But I help people. Anybody that needs help that wants to chat, like for instance, I wanted to reconnect with you. We jump on a call. So if anybody wants to reach me, can do it on Instagram. It's where I'm more active. I don't know if you can put it somewhere else in the descriptions or whatever. My Instagram is pablo.gosu, Gosu. And yeah, just send a DM and let's chat.
Pablo, I'll include all of your info down below. And once again, I really appreciate having you on and sharing that insight. I think this was the message I especially needed today. And I hope other people find a lot of solace in this message as well, because you can't fight, you can't force your way to all of these things. And even if you do, and even if you do succeed, it's always temporary. So flowing and simplifying things is the best way to go, right? You can always build on top of that at a slower, longer pace, which I think is probably the takeaway for today. So I appreciate you, Pablo, and we'll have you on the podcast again soon. And I very much hope to stay in
Awesome.
touch. Okay.
Awesome. Great
All
to
right.
be here.
See you, Pablo.
See you.